Hello, 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 guys. Happy Tuesday. I did a quick little brush up on my hair because it's been a crazy day. Hope everyone's staying safe with this bad weather, right, Bev? We've had our fair share today. Um, in fact, I was somewhere and someone said, oh gosh, where was? Oh, I was at my doctor's appointment, and the lady walked in and she said, "I don't even care what my hair looks like because it looks like the wind just blew me in and wrinkled all my clothes and wrinkled all my hair." And I thought, I've never heard of wrinkled all her hair, but it was cute, older lady. Hello, guys. Hello. So many of my members on. Sorry, I had to adjust my chair. I am on the hunt for a new two new studio chairs. So if you have one, leave me a comment and let me know what you have or what you have. I have kind of a high-rise tabletop, and I'm looking for one that rolls but that is comfortable. And right now, if you saw my MacGyvered pillows that are wrapped around the chair with ribbon, I'd be embarrassed. So anyway, I just finished a wonderful lesson with my membership group, and they're probably looking going, wow, you added some volume to your hair, you changed your lipstick, and you put on a different shirt. So I did hello, sister. Good, so good to see you on. My older sister, Linda, is on. I have to say, I think about my sister every single time when I have a lesson with my membership group. I want to say we have 5 Lindas in our group, maybe 6. Anyway, but love, love, love my older sister. So anyway, it has been a crazy, wacky day. Power out, power on, power out. And I'm trying to get ready for my membership group and had a doctor's appointment and was driving home from my doctor's appointment, and the tornado sirens are going off and I'm getting an Amber Alert to seek shelter, and I'm thinking, where am I going to go? I'm not getting in a ditch with spiders and everything else. And there was so much water on the road. So it was a crazy day. I'm right here in the smack dab in the middle of the storms today. My mom's in Alabama, same thing. They had horrible weather. And I just pray and hope that everybody is safe and well. And I know there are tornadoes. We had one in Georgia. I don't know if they've confirmed it or not, but I saw that on the news. So anyway, hello, guys. So I did see, I am back, Darlene, and you're back. Thanks for being back. And Anne, and Judy, and everybody else that joined me, Margot and Letitia and Norma Jean. Hello, guys, and Janie Kaufman. In fact, Janie Kaufman, you were the first person I saw on Facebook that left a comment when I went live. So message me and let me know what e-packet you want, and I will get that sent off to you. And then on YouTube, because we're streaming on my Facebook page and on YouTube, Bonnie Duncan, message me and let me know what e-packet you would like, and I will get that emailed to you most likely tomorrow. So I was telling we expect 50-mile-per-hour winds tonight, but no storms. Oh my. Yeah, my mom sent me a video from their backyard, and it was just like hurricane force winds, whipping everything around. Had to get some fresh water. Oh, thank you, Mo Scott. Never watched you before. Well, Karen, is it Nab? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, hello, Lori. Good to see you. So good to talk to you this week. You look great, Sandy. Thank you, Robin, because if you saw me a minute ago, in fact, I have this ritual. I know I've shared this with you guys before, but I have this ritual that I do my hair and I use hot rollers, and then I always tease it. And if I've roomed with you at a convention or something, I always show my husband, but usually it was, before going to church, I'm like, do you think I could wear my hair like this? Do you think they'll kick us out? And he's like, you might want to tone it down a little. But I'm a firm believer that, bigger the hair, closer to God, right? As they say. But my hair was looking a little ratchet earlier. So it was not looking pretty. Thank you, sister. Thank you, thank you. Kunobi. Oh, what a pretty name. And I butchered it, right? Saying Knab. So we have high winds here tonight. So glad the tornado missed you. Yeah, it was crazy. It was super, super dark. Hello, Tammy Davis. Super dark in our area and just crazy for a while. In fact, I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to do a live with my membership group. And we did this really fun page I'll share with you guys. Like I mentioned, we do the flower of the month that we just started. Oops, someone just messaged me. You surely don't look as frazzled. Well, thank you, Chris. So I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to go live to do it. And like 8 minutes before, lights on, everything's good. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to get ready. But anyway, so my membership group, one of the things we're going to chit chat about tonight, then we're going to get to creating. So if you missed last night, so like Karen's new, she's not been here before, welcome. So if you go back and watch my video from last night, I'm not going to repeat a lot of things because for y'all that were here last night, all y'all, that'd be a little boring, right? But I do want to let you know that I have a membership group. They bless me through and through. They always say I bless them, but it's just a great community of like-minded people that want to create and learn, not just about what to paint or how to paint, but different techniques, products, how to use product, different ways to use products. I'm often surprised sometimes when I share something like on a live that I've been doing for a long time, but someone says it's the first time they've seen it. Well, yes, because there are so many different artists around the world that do similar things, some exactly the same, but similar things, and might have a different method or way of doing it. And that's one thing that I love is learning new things and new ways to do things, but then also sharing it. So I have a membership group. Hi, Sherry. And my membership group doors are open. You can find all the information. I'm going to put it right here for you. So basically what we do every single month, 3 to 4 times a month, I go live in the private membership group and teach a lesson. And I emphasize teach. We're not just painting. You're not just watching me paint. I'm teaching you what I'm painting, how to paint it, lots of techniques, lots of tips and tricks. So it's a great way to build on maybe something you already know, or if you're just starting out, you can come in. I'm a firm believer that even if you've never picked up a brush, and let me just say that because my sister came to visit, my sister Linda came to visit, and I was teaching a class, and I said, well, come with me. And she had not painted before, and she did this beautiful English cottage with gardens and grass and everything. I think she surprised herself. So, hello guys, hello. So my membership group is open and all the lessons are recorded. There are over 60 plus lessons in my group right now. You can watch at your leisure. If you can join us live, great. Many can't. I have members from Madrid, Spain, and England, and Norway, and India, and Australia, and all over Canada, and all over the US. So very fortunate and blessed that this platform, since we kind of had to go there in 2020, right? Has opened the doors and opportunities for me to paint and share what I love to do and what I'm passionate about with so many people around the world. That was always the one thing I heard at conventions and stuff is, can you come here and teach that? And, I can, but I can't teach it before the convention. But it's difficult, I realize and understand. If you're on a limited income, if you're on, you're not able to fly, to somewhere to take a convention class or to take a seminar. But this way, being online, we get to see each other and paint together. And so in my membership group, like I said, 3 to 4 times a month, I get to share and show them what I am passionate about. And they are just as passionate and eager to learn, which I love. We've had so many new members join the last couple of days, and I'm thrilled. What I want to do tonight is remind you that my doors for my membership group close tomorrow night at midnight. Now, I am leaving 5 o'clock Thursday morning. So if you message me and say, I didn't get in time, can you let me? I can't. I will be away from my computer. On that note, if you order from my website after tomorrow afternoon, if you order on my website, no orders will be shipped out on my website at sandymctierdesigns.com until the 15th, because I'm going to a huge trade show in Orlando where companies come and they show all their new products for the year. So I'll be sharing some lives from there with you guys here on my page. But again, if you want to order on my website, you need to get that done before noon tomorrow. And you can use this promo code right here, all capital letters ART. That will get you a discount on my website. However, if you are a member in my membership group, do not use that code. Use your code that you have in our private membership group on our banner, because that's going to give you the best discount ever. In fact, my members get a better discount than anywhere on my website. So anyway, my membership group's open. We primarily create in an art journal. I'll share a couple things with you, but last night, one of the things we did was I shared some of my favorite products, and we did a little page with some gesso. So I'm eager to jump in and get some color on that page and see what is going to materialize on it. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm gonna look at the comments real quick because I feel like I'm on Mach 20 here with my, yes, I did paint an English cottage. I am horrible, but Sandy made it. Oh, thank you, sister. Thank you, Janie. Yes, Lucy, my sister and I are 18 months apart, and many people think that we look like twins. So she's so pretty, though. I'm happy if I look like her. Find lots of cool stuff for us at the show. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's my first in-person show. It's not open to consumers, but it's companies, demoing and sharing their new products for the year. And I have gone every year for the last, 5 years. Gonna miss having Tracy Moreau there, and in the booth we've had Deb Antonick, and it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to playing with product and talking to people about product. And like I said, it's the first one since 2020, so long overdue. So let's see. Oh, hi, Norma Jean. Glad the weather's passed. Right? Linda Safranco, you had some crazy weather too. Thanks, Marianne. I wish you were going. I wish you were going to be in Florida. I wish you were living in Florida because you can come visit me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. My husband just printed out the weather, so it looks like it's going to be nice. But looking forward. Thank you, Pat. Sandy's group's awesome. This is my thing, like I say, or like I have said. There was bad weather in Georgia today, I hope. So Lori, yes, being right smack dab in the middle of Georgia, came right through our area up to where our boys were in Atlanta, and then just continued, east and up. So it looks like we're in for a little bit more tomorrow, but hopefully no tornadoes or anything. And we didn't have any damage. It's just very scary when you're driving and you get the Amber Alert to take shelter and the sirens are going off and your husband's trying to call you on your phone on your car. And so I was just like a little frazzled, and then, to have no power. Anyway, so it's been a day, but let me just say, someone said, oh, it must have been awful, or it's a terrible day or something like that. One of my sweet members, Diane, and I thought, you know what? It's not terrible. You just kind of have to flip the script on so many things, right? And so there are so many things that are worse. I could have been in a car accident. I could have gotten hit. 75 was completely backed up going north. In fact, there was a cop there blocking people from even getting on the interstate. So I had all these 18-wheelers to deal with. Anyway, why am I rambling on about that? But it was a little scary. It was a little frantic and a little crazy. And my days usually they're busy, but they kind of have a flow. And today was, one of these days where everything seemed a little disjointed. And my husband's like, I hope you have a good life. And I'm like, thank you very much. I just need to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. I am losing it tonight twice in one day. Oh, Linda, bless. I mean, you're so sweet. I can see where it'd be a little confusing when I was on last night here talking about something, but then I also had a membership lesson tonight at 7 o'clock, and I made it by the skin of my teeth. Hello, Cindy. Good to see you on, one of our new members. So like I said, I am streaming on both my Sandy McTeer Designs page and my YouTube channel. Just looking at my very flat hair. So my membership group, doors are open. They close tomorrow night. You can find the information on my website. I'm going to pop it up again just real quick. If you have any questions at all, you can message me. What we do is we get together, we create, we play, we have fun, and the majority of the time we create in an art journal. So the reason I do that is because painting with people all over the world, it is very difficult for me to get something, say, from my friends at CD Wood and for my members in Madrid or Australia or England or India to get those same products. So I'm a firm believer, use what you have. And y'all probably have some stuff, right? Don't tell anyone. I have a ton of stuff. But let's use it. And so playing with different things, but you don't have to have a ton of product. If you have kind of a nice quality paper, like a mixed media paper, why I use an art journal, paint, whatever paint is that you like to use. I wouldn't say oils in your art journal, but watercolor, acrylics, what other paint is there? There's a lot of other paint. So you can use, fluid acrylics. I couldn't think of it. Fluid acrylics, gouache, those things can be used in an art journal. All right. A little bit differently, but they can be used in an art journal. So you are going to end up with 50 or 60 pages times 2, because there's a front and a back side, to create on. And so in my membership group, what I do is I share, like this lesson we did tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and stop flipping back and forth and put you down onto my screen and share with you what I did with my membership group tonight. All right. So every month we're doing the flower of the month. And so the flower for April, there's several different flowers for months, but this one, April, is actually, I think it's sweet peas and daisies. So we did a little, I was inspired by this seed packet, and so did my design and shared that with them tonight. And so basically they'll have a line drawing to go by, see all the colors, just like we're going to kind of do on some of my lessons on Sandy, Sundays in the Studio with Sandy, where I share and show the colors I use and the techniques I use to paint it. And then they can watch and create at another time. And I have to say, I was very impressed with one of our new members, Anne, that joined, I believe, yesterday. And she already has jumped in and done the March April challenge, which I was blown away with. And it's beautiful. And she was inspired by another one of our members, Melissa, who had this fantastic design. And so she just kind of ran with it and did it. And that's, again, one of my favorite things about the membership group. So again, this was the page that I taught with my membership group tonight. You can see the differences. I mean, there are differences every single time I paint something. I don't paint it exactly the same way. I've never been able to do that. So we did that, and I can take my pages out because we paint in, or I paint in, I have to move my keyboard. I paint in an art journal. So this Grumbacher in and out journal, the pages can come out. If you missed last night's live, go back and watch it. Because if you have a journal where the pages don't come out, I show you how to make the pages come out without taking this off. All right. So what's nice about that is I can take this out and create on it. And if I wanted to, it has a perforated edge. I could take that off. I could frame that. But what art journaling is to me is my place to get all of my feels out. You know, it's like if I don't have a thought in my mind of what it is that I want to paint, I will sit down with my art journal and I'll just start gessoing, sometimes sketching, sometimes drawing things out, but a lot of times just kind of winging it and going for it and playing with product. And I thought I said last night, be late tonight. I just adore you, Linda Johnson. So in an art journal, again, you kind of have your compilation of all your art that you're creating. If you're stressed, you might see that come out in different ways with your colors or the things you decide to use with stencils or the theme that you decide to paint. I can sit down and paint something like I shared with you guys last night, and I don't know if I have it in this art journal, but if I sit down, that one's upside down. If I sit down and create, this was the page. So I was feeling a certain way in a situation, and I sat down to create, and I just started with the background. And when I got done with that, my mood changed. My stress and anxiety over this situation changed because I flipped the script. I did this cool, very colorful, happy background, and then grabbed my Stampendous stamp, which I love. And then I thought, okay, well, I want to incorporate what I'm feeling, but I also want it to go with, what I've created in my background and flowers and whatnot. So this was, a quote. I just printed it out on my computer. I decoupaged it onto the page, and away I went, But again, it was nice to be able to get that out and create and just play. Now, you might think, I don't paint on paper. I don't want to paint on paper. I like painting on canvas. I like painting on paper mache. Let me tell you, and hopefully some of my members in the chat will reiterate this for me. When you play with paint and product and allow yourself to just create and play and let things talk to you, you will be better at what it is that you do. So if you're a type painter, an oil painter, if you like to do stroke work, if you're in acrylics and you have a certain style that you like, that is fantastic. If you sit down and allow yourself to play with stencils and stamps and create with paint and use products differently than the way they were intended, this makes all of the other even better. So I like to break the rules. I say, I don't have a lot of rules in painting. I've always said my number one rule is if you like it, leave it. If you don't, figure out a way to fix it. But one of my main things is teaching technique, teaching that there is such joy in creating and painting. And the feels are coming up right now, sorry. If you're frustrated and aggravated and you don't know where to go with what you're doing in art or creating, or you've never picked up a brush before and you want to learn something new, I am a firm believer that everybody can learn to paint. And it just takes away the anxiety and stress for the day and gives you an outlet. And it really doesn't take a lot of space. You don't need much to create an art journal. Your art journal, some pencils, maybe a stencil or two if you have it, maybe a stamp or two if you have it. But if not, guess what? You can print it, do a line drawing from royalty-free clip art and sit there and trace out a pattern and paint. So the possibilities really are endless with what you can do. And again, would love to have you in my membership group so that I can share and show what we do and what we create. Again, why did I hit that button? So my website is right there. If you click on my website, you'll see a membership tab, and you can click on that and go all the way to the very bottom. And at the very bottom, you will see the membership tabs. You can join monthly, you can join yearly. But the other thing you can do is go all the way to the bottom, and some of my members' work is at the bottom. I have not updated it lately. I need to, because they are blowing me away with what they're creating. So we do challenges. We have giveaways for our challenge. In fact, for our March-April challenge, one of our giveaways is a light box. I'm going to throw that down. Sorry, on the table. So love to decorate. This is that same ugly, it's not ugly, but that blue journal cover. And put some gesso on there. I don't know if you guys can see that texture. So I did this one. Oh gosh, I don't even remember when I painted this, but I painted it and I loved it so much it became a convention class. I think I was on this earlier and I kind of skipped over it, but let me go back to it. This is one of the greatest things that you can do, and it's one of my favorite things to do. Um, when when someone's frustrated or they're not feeling like they know all the techniques or all the ways to do something, or one of my greatest things in my membership group is being able to say, that's fantastic. I have messaged privately some of my members and said, what if you add a little bit of shading here? Because it's not about a project. It's not about painting this page or putting it on wood or anything else. It's about growing and learning techniques so that you can get better and better and better. And again, I don't care if all of them or any of them look like mine. I just want them to learn and get the most they can from what I know and what I share. So anyway, again, we're doing color of the month. Color of the month. I looked at the word color on the screen. Flower of the month. And so again, it's my place to sit and play. And if I want to take it and put it on a piece of wood or paper mache or canvas or whatever the case may be, or fabric, I can do that. But this was my place that I can, oh, I don't like the orange, I'm going to add some red. Or I don't like the red poppies, I'm going to add some orange, and play around with it. Again, it's paper. And I don't know if I have let me see if I do. Because, I don't know. I don't think I have this. One of my first art journals that I started. No, it's not that one. Anyway, the first 2 pages, nope, it's in the other room. But the first 2 pages that I did, I loved. And then I did 2 more pages and I hated them. Like I woke up the next morning and I'm like, those are so overworked. And so what I did is I took my gesso and with a palette knife and I just went over them and created 2 of my favorite pages. One has roses and swirls on it that I taught my membership group, and the other one has hydrangeas, which is one of my favorite flowers to paint. We have Zoom classes quarterly. We have a Zoom class coming up the end of April, and we're doing a mixed media rooster. On top of that, we also have a guest artist, and I have guest artists often. Marco Aguilar is going to be our guest artist, and he's joining us since he works every day. He's going to be joining us before our Zoom class and teaching us about like the glint on the water, white caps, movement in water, things like that, just the stroke of the brush or with color. I'm not looking at the comments because I know I'm going to get really, really, really sidelined. So Linda, that poppy, that orange poppy, that was an SDP class. That's not in our group on a video. So thank you, Jolene. I need to back out just a little because I'm super close to that, aren't I? Alrighty. So, I loved in my past life, in my military life, my husband was military, and we would travel around and I did scrapbooking. I loved scrapbooking, and I love to take those things that I've learned from scrapbooking and incorporate them into my art journal, like doing a fold out page. Challenges with my group. So like this was a challenge. I gave them a line drawing, gave them a little bit of an idea of what I did on my page, and then they can just run with it and do it. We've done backgrounds, love patinas, love anything tropical, because of course the beach is my vibe. Love everything tropical. Painting glass, again, those things build, so that when you go to create, whether it's a very mixed media piece or a truly decorative painting piece, my membership group is, I would say, decorative painting, mixed media, and art journaling all rolled into one. So what you do in your pages, and oh my gosh, I wish Norma Jean maybe in the comments How did you do the peacock? So on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Linda Sofranco, I show how I added 2 pages together. I have a whole lesson on that, on how to add those pages together. But one of my lessons that I did with my membership group was a sunflower, and we did like a kind of a Van Gogh sepia tone sunflowers. And one of my members, Norma Jean, who is 90, by the way, and paints up a storm. She did this most amazing gift for her daughter, if I'm not mistaken, with that design we did. Love to do collage, take things out of magazines, put them together again, just that mixed media fun, playing around and creating. So let's get on to a couple of fun things. Yesterday we had some giveaways, and today we have some giveaways, and all you have to do to enter is like, comment, and share. That's all you have to do. Like, comment, and share. So I have 2 stamp sets here. That's going to be one of our giveaways for this live. Now, I did a live on Sunday, I did a live last night, and I did one today. I'm going to do a live tomorrow. I will post it on my page. Most likely it's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern. Might be a little bit later. But I will announce the winner for all the giveaways from Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And do kind of a little, you know, excuse me, do a little bit of kind of last minute whatevers we need to do. And then, like I said, my membership group closes tomorrow night at midnight Eastern. So Tina, some of the pages I showed have been lessons. They've been ones that I've created in my book, but they've also been lessons on YouTube or whatever. But a lot of them are ones that we have in the membership group, and you have access to all those and access to all the old Zoom classes. So I started in October 2020 with my membership group, and I believe we've had 3 or 4 Zoom classes. So you have access to those as well. Plus you get a better discount on my website. Okay, so this is one giveaway for tonight. All you have to do, like, comment, share. All right? And I'm noticing that there are no stars on tonight's. There were stars last night. 2 notes in a row. Enjoy your trip. Okay, and then the second giveaway we have is some stencils. So I have a stencil line with Tracy Moreau. It's called M Squared, Moreau McTier. So I have 2 of those stencils. Love this. It makes great bouquet backgrounds, or if you want to make flowers or centers of flowers or do dots. Great, great, great stencil. And then 2 Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous. So love this one called Hocus Pocus, and then the honeycomb. So second winner is going to get those for the giveaway. All right. And again, all you have to do is like, comment, and share. So last night we did a little bit of playing around with some gesso. I'm not going to recap everything because, again, you can go back and watch last night's live, or we will be here till midnight. I'd love to be here with you guys till midnight. But Teresa, thank you for the stars. Thank you so much. I wasn't sure if those were showing up because I can't see them on my end, but I appreciate you doing that. Thank you so much. So I'm going to be giving all the money that comes in with those stars on Facebook. Don't see that on YouTube or a way to do that. Janet Mills, you need to message me and let me know what e-packet you want because you were the first to comment on last night's live. And if you did and I missed it, I'm sorry because we've had power outage issues today. So Sandy's so real too. She always makes... Thank you, Denise. I'm good at making people laugh. And it's me. I mean, I show up as me. Ask my members, because I wasn't looking like this. Not that I'm looking great right now, but I wasn't looking like this an hour ago. Okay, so on my journal pages, oh, Julie, you might have to refresh because I'm not frozen on this end. on my journal pages, I like to either use gesso or matte medium to kind of put a barrier between the paint. This will take a lot of abuse, but at the same time, if I go to put paint down on dry paper, it's going to stay there. It's not watercolor paper. So I did some gesso and a little stenciling that I shared with you guys last night. And again, I kind of have a little something in my mind of what I want to put on it, but nothing really concrete. I looked at y'all's comments. My members right before were telling me a couple things. I'm going to zoom in just a little. I've got paint everywhere. Hello. And I was teaching my membership group and looked down and I had a huge swath of paint on this new shirt that I got. So I had to change into my Jam Jams. So this has gesso on it, okay? But it doesn't have gesso everywhere. So see where the paper's a little darker? It's going to take the paint a little bit differently. So let's just start throwing some paint on there. I am going to get it wet because I want the paint to move a little bit for me. So I'm just going to kind of bring you into a little bit of my creative madness when I sit down and I have my art journal and I'm playing and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. That's kind of where we're at right now. And the thing is, if I am a little frustrated with my background or it's not really talking to me, this design might continue on tomorrow on our live. So I'm just going to put, this is some, oh, I didn't pull this color. I put it in a smaller bottle, but it's DecoArt's Media Paint. If you don't have these, they're amazing. They're permanent. They're very fluid, and they just make an incredible way to do a background. And this is my favorite color. It's the Turquoise Shimmer Mister, which I'm going to grab. It's right here. Okay, so the Turquoise Shimmer Mister. And then I'm just going to take a big brush. Let's get a big brush here. I need some paper towels. And then I highly recommend you have paper towels handy when you use them because your paint will go everywhere. But basically, I'm going to take that big brush and I just want to kind of play around with some of that color. And then I want it to drip. Now, this is the stuff that just makes me happy. Seeing where that paper did not have gesso is going to take the color differently. And remember, we laid a stencil down and used a baby wipe and lifted some of that, and it created that design right here. See that? I love, love, love that. And that's my thing. If you love it, leave it. If you don't, figure out a way. If you don't like that, you can gesso right over it. Okay. So a lot of color, right? So what I'm going to do now is take some. This is my favorite color combination, I have to say. And I've used it a lot and shared it on lives with you guys a lot. But that turquoise and quinacridone gold. So thank you, Nancy, for the stars. I greatly appreciate that. The stars on Facebook. Thank you, thank you. So I will be donating with the World, Jose Andre, the World, someone put it on last night. Why can't I remember that? I know it's late, but he goes to all the zones that are in, storm zones and war zones. And he's in Poland, I believe, and they feed people that are in desperate need. During the pandemic, he made food and would go and take it to the nurses and those people on the front lines of getting ahead of working long, long, long hours and taking care of people and loved ones and FaceTiming. And anyway, this is my favorite color combination, that turquoise and quinacridone gold. So World Central Kitchen, thank you, Linda. You were the one that posted it last night too, and I don't know why I can't remember. I want to say something after World, but it's not Central, and I think that's what hangs me up. Okay, so look how that's just going to drip and make really, really pretty color, but I want to switch it up a bit. So I have, if you guys have never used, I love metallic luster. So It is a paste that you can put on. Let's see if I have anything. You know what? I'm going to do it on a stamp. I shouldn't, but I can wash it off. So let's say you have a piece of furniture or a frame or something like that, and there's raised bits. You can run your finger right along that paste. See how it'll stick on there? And then just lightly go right over it. I think there's another product called Rub and Buff that's similar. Look at that. I love it. But what I love about it even more, and maybe I should even just do that. I think so. Watch. I'm just going to keep going. I've not used it on a stamp before, but it works great on furniture and metal and frames. But it is a paste, and if you add water to it, it becomes a liquid. So I love making it into a liquid and using it in my art. So let's just go in here. Now, because I have not dried my background is wet. At first I thought, oh, I'm going to have to mist my stamp with water. Let's see what happens. So because it's wet, I'm hoping it picks up that luster that is on that stamp. It did. It did. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. I'm going to do one more little area, and then I'll show you how I normally use it. Okay, and let's do that there. Well, that's kind of seeping into the thing, again, because it's liquid. Let's see if that, just a little imprint on that. So what I love to do with that is take a wet brush, and I run it. Let's see if you can see that shimmer. Oh, I just love that. So it is like a metallic paint. What I love about it is very transparent. It's a little bit easier to control where it goes than, say, in a paint form. But I like to tap it on. And then I also want to take this and drip it down my page. So now, when you use water in your metallic luster, you want to make sure that that water evaporates before you go and close it, because you don't want it to mildew or anything. And here's a little trick. If you want your line to go straight, you need to create a path for it. So just take your wet brush and create that little path, and that will go right down the path that you created with water. Okay, so if you're trying to drip paint or whatever, go ahead and just take your brush with nothing on it, drip that, help it along, drip your paint on, and it will follow that path of water. Okay, so this is the burnished brass. Now to finish it, you can varnish over it, but if you buff it, the more you buff it, the shinier it gets. So nice, nice, nice product. I love it. Rub and Buff has been around for years, right, Nancy? Richard, I know. And I need to put that stamp in water so it doesn't dry out. Let's put that in a little water bath there. And this works the same way, but I love to use this more as a liquid than as a paste. So, all right, so that is the burnished brass. I'm going to use a little bit of the Brilliant Turquoise. And again, this time I'm going to get it wet. Now, if you have a container that you left like the lid open a little or it's dried out, you can boil some water, slowly add a little bit of water to it with a palette knife, work it in, add a little more water as needed, and you can bring it back to life. So, okay. Now, you might not be able to see it. I can see it, that there's a little shimmer and shine as I flick this on. But when it's dry and when you turn it, depending on how you look at it, you'll be able to see that, that color. All right, let's give that a little bit of a dry. I'm going to use one of my favorite studio tools, the Ranger Heat It craft tool. First off, it's quiet. It doesn't blow my stuff around. It's going to dry it where it is. And yeah, it's just a fantastic heat tool. And I'm impatient. I want to move on to the next step. So some heat tools I hear when I'm watching a lesson or something are like jet engines. They're so loud. So this one's nice and quiet and effective. Bye, Linda. Thanks for being here. Oh, good, Janet. I'll look for your email or your message. Do you then buff it when it's dry? Not necessarily, Lori. And Lori Bellucci, did you message me your shipping information? Because I have a giveaway from Sundays live for you. That was from our calla lily lesson that we did. Okay. So let's dry that. So you see there's a little bit of moisture. I'm on my silicone baking mat. What'll happen when you do that is it makes the other side of your page sweat. So see there's a little bit of moisture there. So I recommend you lift it up so that it doesn't do that, but I don't mind it. Okay, let's see if I can get, ooh, there it is. So you see the metallic from the gold or that burnished brass. But then in the page, there's also that brilliant turquoise, like right there in the right corner, lower right corner. And then you can see some of that flower stamp. Love, love, love. But I want that flower stamp to be a little bit more prominent. So I'm going to dry it off. And I'm going to let's get some ink. So let's start. I'm going to use my StazOn opaque white. It's cotton white. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at many different stores, Joann's. So I still have some of that gold on there. Let's see if we can get that white on there. Now that I think about it, I think I'm going to use black. I think I want the black lines instead of white. Yeah. Okay. And I don't care, I'm not going for like a perfect flower or image. I just want a little bit of interest in that background. Hello, Sandy. And I like to do things in threes. So I have one here, have one there. Kind of that design element. Triangle of design. Okay, so I have that. It's another thing that we do in our membership group is talk about design. We have a challenge on design because I think that's one of the things that I found with my members that wanted to learn something different was layout and design. You can paint patterns till the cows come home. But if you want to learn to create and paint like a design of your own, or you see a flower that you like, how do you put that together? That's definitely something that we have done, and there's lesson 4. So, okay, so I just picked this one up, and this is Iced Espresso, which used to be my favorite color until they came out with White Frost. Okay, love, love, love. And I carry the White Frost. But I'm just going to do a little bit more splattering. Okay. And then I want to come in with a brush. Let's do, let me see. I'm going to do my encaustic. So this is a 1-inch oval encaustic. It's for hot wax. Tracy Monroe calls it her fugly brush. So if you've ever watched one of her lives, I glittered mine. Because hello. And then I also marbled it with DecoArt's new water marbling. I marbled one of my other handles, and I just need to finish this with a little resin to finish it off. But I'm going to take this. Oh, thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. And I'm going to take some of this iced espresso. And I want to see if I can get a little bit darker. There we go. A little bit darker stripe of color that's metallic, but also transparent. So it's all about layers in mixed media. And oh, that shimmer. Ugh, not sure if it's translating on camera, but it certainly is in my studio with the lights. In fact, my husband walked in last night and he's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so hot in here." And he said, "Do you want me to turn on the air?" And I said, "No, it's actually the lights." Because he said the rest of the house is really comfortable. And I said, "Yeah, this is always warmer, especially when I have my studio lights on." Okay, that's exactly what I'm going for. Just a little bit something darker, transparent, but a little bit of shimmer. Okay, let's dry that. See, the fun and joy of playing and just letting things happen, letting them talk to you, like looking at those colors and going, "Ooh, what would look really, really pretty with that?" And I have some ideas. So stamps, stencils, bubble wrap if you don't have anything. It it can all be used to create backgrounds and texture and so much more. Okay, I love the way that metallic luster hit that raised area from the gesso. Now, when I get done doing my page, I will take a dry paper towel and buff it. That's going to bring up the metallic even more. But then I do varnish over it. And my favorite varnish is DecoArt Soft Touch Varnish. So let's get that cleaned up. See, it just comes right off your mat. So nice. Okay, and I have a couple wet spots on there. I'm just going to take my paper towel and do that. Well, hello, I don't want to rip my tab, which I just did. Gotta be careful for those things. Okay. So, stencils. I love using stencils in my design. Last night I shared with you guys on one of my favorite ways to use the, I am live again, Rebecca. I love using stencils in my design. Last night I shared with you guys how to use this one with some matte medium and get a really cool effect. Tonight I'm going to use one of Chris Hoy's new stencils. I think I'm going to use that one. Although that one's really nice. Wait, they're all really, really, really nice. So you can find those stencils at cdwood.com. You can disregard the item number under there. That's for my spring flower series. But CD Wood creates these collage stencils that are just beautiful. And I have to agree, someone just said, "I love it the way it is." So do I. What I want to do is I want to take some color and let's tone it just a little bit. So let's use some asphaltum. Okay, a little bit of brown. And I'm going to apply this differently. I'm going to take that, put it on with a brush, but then I'm going to move it around. You might think, "Oh, what are you doing? Taking away all that color." Oh, I just have to rip that tab off because it's going to aggravate me. Okay, a little bit more water. Okay, and then I'll take a paper towel. And I'm just going to lift some of that color, kind of give it a little more of an antique look. It just makes it richer looking. I'm winging it, guys. We're just playing. You're playing and creating with me in my studio, or watching me play and create. But look what that did to that color, yet you can still see that metallic shine through. And so let's give that a little bit of heat to dry it. Yes, and if you're looking for those stencils too, they will, and you live in Canada, you can get them, but Tracy Moreau is going to start selling those on her website very soon. Let's see if I have that. I know I have it. It's just, where do I have it? Right there. So she's going to start selling some of C.D. Wood's stencils on her website. Trying to get things over the border sometime can be a little crazy and expensive. All right, now this might seem like, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I have to move this and get a baby wipe. And I want to take a little bit of purple. I'm going to take a little bit of purple. And instead of applying that with a brush, I'm going to apply it with a baby wipe. So I'm just going to kind of wrap that around a couple of my fingers. And let's start up here. I don't want it everywhere. That's why I'm not doing it with the brush. I want to be able to control where it goes. Okay, so a little in the corners. And down. Ooh, loving that. I want to thin it just a little bit, so I'm going to do that with some water. And then I'm going to come to my white frost, and let's do a little something, something with that. Again, I'll just take that same baby white and turn it. And this is, honestly, when I am sitting down without a thought in my mind of what it is I want to paint or create. And sometimes I already have a thought of what I want to paint and create. But this is my favorite part, is if I have, I don't know what I want to paint, I don't know where I'm going to start. I start here, because at the end of the day, if I don't like it, guess what? I can gesso over it. So I'm going to take that white frost and kind of put some of that with that purple. And I'm using a baby wipe, so it's going to lift it, but it's also going to keep that purple in the areas like where there wasn't gesso or where it already had stained the page. If you don't want to take that much off, you can always use a paper towel and apply it right over that purple and other colors, I should say. You can always pick up paint and go right over that as well. I have a little space right there that wants to flick up. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. I'm gonna add a little bit of splatter, a little bit of white splatter. I'm just tapping it over the handle of another, well, usually a brush, but I grabbed a pen. Okay, we'll let that dry before I put that lid back on. Now, something with splatter too, if you don't want it to look really heavy, let it sit for a minute, and then you can take a dry paper towel and lightly press on top of it, and what it'll do is it'll give you more of a stained look than a heavy splattered look. So just kind of play around with that. And then again, I'm going to take that paper towel and just kind of buff up some of those areas. That wasn't very dry, so I moved it. It's okay. Go with the flow. Okay. So loving the way that that is looking. It's a little on the bright side, a little grungy for me. But we're going to bring it all together with a wash of color. Okay, so let's get that cleaned up. So we're going to dry this, give it a little wash of color, and then I think I'm going to slap a dragonfly on here. Those colors to me are just very ethereal. Okay. So dry. So again, don't forget just to enter into for the giveaways for today. Like, comment, share with your friends. If you share to a group, be sure that you're allowed to share it to that group. Don't want you to get your hand smacked. Okay. Now, when you're working on paper, of course, it takes to the, the product and the water and all that, and sometimes it can warp a little bit. When I do the other side and I put gesso on it, it will lay flat. And then, of course, once I put it in my book, it's going to lay flat as well. So, okay, I have nicked my paper there, and it keeps trying to come up. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to tone this down with a little bit. I hope I have it here. Yes, Prussian blue. I love Prussian blue. So we're going to take a little bit of Prussian blue, a big brush. Going to load that up with lots of water in my brush because this is a very strong color. And I'm basically going to give it a wash of color, and then I'm going to wipe it back. And what's going to happen, because it's transparent, I will see all the colors I put underneath. Hopefully. Okay, let's start down here. Oh, yeah. Love, love, love. So you can use a paper towel. You can use a baby wipe to pick up a little bit more if you want to. Again, just layering those colors, creating that really pretty. This reminds me of, what's that show? Avatar. Like something with Avatar. It is what I'm getting from this. The colors, that ethereal background, very kind of Monet-ish, right? We'll dry it. So one thing after, 2020, when things kind of just came to a halt, that I started playing more with my products and using the things that I had. And if you are a hoarder, like me, and you like to have it all, this is a great place and way to use that product and to create with it. And I such a stickler that you have it, use it. It's not doing any good. It's not going to create on its own. It needs you to help it along. So, all right. So I'm loving that. I am going to do an edge, but I'm going to do that later. I'm thinking I'm going to add a little bit of script. So my favorite stamp, the Vintage Note stamp. Let's add a little bit of that. So I'm just going to rub that. Stays on ink. Again, layers. You probably can't see it that well because it's dark on dark. Oh, you can see it on camera. Right there. Kind of here, there, but not everywhere. You could take your ink pad as well. Just kind of right along that edge. The first time I ever saw that done was Andy Skinner did that. Fantastic artist in the UK. Okay, so, and then these little tabs, you can just kind of pull down, but I want to make that even richer and darker. Right now I'm going to wing it, and I'm going to paint a dragonfly. Okay, so I need some dark color. I'm going to use some Payne's Gray and some sap green. Move that out of the way. Oh, I want to do something. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I want to. And because this is, I'll tell you kind of where that came from. Everything's very dark right now. I know my dragonfly is going to have dark bits on it like the body. So I'm going to take some white, just some titanium white, and I just want to add a little bit of light in the background. So load up your stencil brush. Hopefully you can see that on the far right of the corner of your screen. And a clean, dry paper towel. We want to wipe almost all of that off. And then I want to add, plus I just love this stencil. Just adds the nice, right? I mean, hello. It adds that right flow and movement that it's needing. You can flip your stencils over too, so that your movement goes the opposite direction. Okay, love, love, love. Dragonfly. Let's get a flat brush. So I'm gonna get, let's see, what do I have here? I have like a number 6 flat. So I'm gonna get that wet. Load up my brush, and I'm unfortunately on my palette, I mean my silicone mat, I did not move that over. So I'll come here. A little bit of both colors. I don't mix it down to one. I just load it, tap, 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 and we're good to go. So I'm going to do a big dragonfly. I think I want to go this way. So let's go right there. So its head, and we'll get its body on. And again, this is when I need that time to unwind and just create to create. This is one of my favorite things to do. Again, is just to sit with my paints, with my brushes, with my journal, and create. Okay, so there's its body. Now let's talk about this real quick. So on a dragonfly, I'm not getting real technical, you know, all the body parts and everything exactly right. This isn't realism. This is mixed media play, have fun. So basically a loose oval for its head, an oval for its body, and then I just mashed my brush and did the little sections. And some dragonflies have that little fork at the end. If you want that little fork, you can put the 2 little lines there. All right, let's dry that. But wait, there's more, right, Cindy? Oh, I love it. So I can still see that shimmer and shine, but yes, it did take it down a notch, Molly Ann, but don't be dismayed. It's coming back. It's coming back. So just like last night on YouTube, someone leave a comment there and let me know that you guys, that all is well, because comments stopped like 15 minutes ago, I think. Alrighty. So it's still a little wet, but I'm going to leave that because we're going to move on to the wings. So I want to use a brush big enough that I can pull these wings in one little. So I'm going to use this like a 12 flat. Get it wet. And then I'm going to get a little bit more white paint. A little bit more, but we're going to make it iridescent and pretty too. So my white paint, I want it to be inky so that it's transparent. You don't want anything solid because wings on a dragonfly are transparent, right? You can see through them. So I have that transparent white, and I just want to get placement first. So I'm going to pull that wing from there. That wing from there. Pull that one. I want to do like a little dip. A little dip. Again, more water, paint, very transparent. And that one is a little bit more solid. So I'm going to rinse my brush out, tap it on my paper towel, and I'm going to come in, I'm going to pick some of that up. So you get that skim of white without it being solid. Same thing. A little too much white. Even though I thought I had a ton of water in there, still got white. All right, so this time I will definitely use more water. All righty. So we got a big old dragonfly, don't we? Since I have that brush, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of green, a little bit, and I'm just going to wash it over where those wings attach. I want to see them a little, but I don't want them to be like stark white, so we'll do that. Let's dry that. Thank you guys. Oh, Linda, have a great night. And you have a lot of painting to do. I saw all those those surfaces that you got. Looks amazing. And I know that you will do great things with it. So Linda Park, one of my members, and also she's here, does Random Acts of Kindness pins, and she is so prolific at painting these. I am the owner of many of her pins, and they're beautiful. And just like the people that she gives them to strangers, you know, it brings a smile to their face, and it's just amazing. It's passing on that, you know, something you love to do, and then making somebody's day by giving them a little hand-painted pretty. Okay, so I'm going to leave this alone for right now, and I want to come in with my number 8 flat brush and some Payne's Gray, because one of my favorite things to do is cast shadows. So my paint is very, very watery. Oh, goodness gracious, Sandy. Is very, very watery. Pick up a little bit more. Okay, it's always great to test it on another piece of paper. So see how dark that is? I don't want it that dark. So I need a little bit more water. And I'll just take that heavy color away from that puddle, make a separate puddle. And then I'm going to brush that right up underneath the wing. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to come away from the body. Oops, I need a little bit more color. Okay, to get a little bit of that cast shadow. Now, I'm very wet right here, so I know I need to lift some of that. There we go. So that just lifted our dragonfly, and it's hovering over our page now, right? Okay, love, love, love. Bye, Lucy. Thanks for being here. I'll be back on tomorrow at 3. Hopefully 3. Okay, put a little bit here. I don't want to do too much because I want most of the lift on this side, but I can have a little bit of a shadow there. And then from the head as well. And then they have these little eye antenna looking things. I don't make them real big like I do on a butterfly. And I'm kind of surprised I didn't paint a butterfly because it's one of my favorite things to paint. Okay, so let's beef that up. All right, let's dry this. Thank you, Nancy. Yes, Cindy. So Cindy, great question. She asked if she doesn't have the media line, but she has most every color in the DecoArt line. Yes, you just want to water it down. The difference is going to be that the color is not going to be as vibrant. You can continue to layer to build the color, but the fluid acrylics are highly pigmented, and a little goes a very, very long way. It's my absolute favorite paint to paint with for that reason. Okay, so we've got some lift on our dragonfly and the wings. So I want to add a little bit of color to the wings, and I'm going to use my angle brush, a little bit of purple. So just on the toe of that brush, and let's bring a little bit of this color in that's in our background. Because again, those wings are see-through, right? So wherever we can see some of that color in the background, you'd be able to see that right through the wing. Don't be afraid to use those fingers. Hello. Doesn't mean you have to be a messy painter. To me, this isn't, I mean, yes, it's messy, but it's fun. And if you've taken a class with me, I usually will say, you know, if you don't have paint on your fingers, sit back down and that's the telltale sign that you had fun. So a little bit of purple. I'm going to rinse that out. Now, this is where we're going to get a little bit more shimmer and shine. Okay, so I'm going to take a pen. Hopefully I have it here. My Thule art pen. So one of my members gave me this pen. Love, love, love. You can get them on Amazon. It's a Thule art fine liner. The thing with it, it's not going to bleed or move when you paint over it. So you can also use the Sharpie, fine ultra Sharpie marker. You just want an ink that's not going to bleed. Okay, so let me see the difference. I want this one. This is an 005 and that's an 01. You can also use the fine tip of the Identipen to do what I'm going to do. You can also use stamps and, you know, but basically what I want to do is first off make sure it's dry. If not, it'll ruin your pen. But I want to do these very loose vein lines. Now, does my left always match my right? No, and that's okay. If I needed it to, I would make a pattern and flip it side to side to make sure that one side matched the other. But in my mixed media, it's just, I just wing it. In my art journal, I just wing it. It really is my play place to create and have fun and de-stress and get out what I'm feeling. Or if I'm not feeling, not thinking of something I want to paint, then just sit down and create a background. Sit down and gesso a background. Just be creative. So, all right, let's do some dry brushing to get some of this body to show up a little bit more. Oop, I just did that. And then also add some shimmer and shine to our wings. So that white frost, I'm going to use a wet brush. Let's put it right here on the palette. Get a little bit more water. Make it nice and inky. And then I will brush it on, a little bit more water. Because this paste can be very opaque, depending on how heavy you put it on or how watered down it's not. So I like to do even more water, make sure that it's transparent so that you can see what's up underneath it. Oops. Let's get that off. Okay. So let's dry that real quick. The fun part of lives. I like using interference. Yes, Bonnie, the interference is amazing. Let's see if I have it. If you're not familiar with what Bonnie's talking about, or what I'm referencing to her comment, excuse me, not question, comment, is the interference is beautiful and iridescent, and depending on how the light hits it, you just get a really pretty look. Okay, I'm going to help this along. I got stuff to do. Okay. And normally I would add a word or do something. I'm not sure exactly what I will add to this. If I think of anything tonight, I might add it tomorrow. If not, I'm just going to leave it for now till it talks to me. But it needs some color on the body. So I'm going to take my Mezzaluna brush. This is a blend of like a stiff bristle and a soft bristle, and it is perfect for dry brushing. I have a set of 4 of those on my website, and they are my go-to for dry brushing. Let's use a little green gold. Put a little bit of that out. And a little bit of white that's not all super runny from water. And my favorite color, one of my favorite colors, I should say, in the media line is the cobalt teal hue. There's what I was telling you guys about last night. You want to make sure you get those off because your paint bottle cannot close properly if there's all that stuff there. Okay, so do yourself a favor and save you some money and not have to, you know, buy more paint sooner than when you would need it because you left that on. Okay, so I have the green and the white over here on my palette. I really want to put my palette on that wet paint, but I know I'll regret it. Okay, so you want to load that up, and then you're going to wipe it off just like a stencil brush. So we're going to wipe off almost all that paint, and then we will dry brush it. So since I have that shadow, you know, under the wings here, that right side, let's just make it a little bit brighter. And so I'm just going to dry brush some of that color on the different sections. Just like that. Make that body pop and come alive, right? So I need another dry paper towel. And I'm going to wipe that off. Take a little bit of cobalt teal hue, work that in, and I still have those other colors in my brush, which makes a really pretty, kind of a brighter green. Those sections. Like that. Okay. So look how that, again, just makes that dragonfly body and head and, you know, everything else so dimensional. But I want to take it to another color. I could use asphaltum, but well, you know what? We used asphaltum in the background. Let's use asphaltum. I do that often. I'll use whatever's in my background. In my design, it adds a softness and a harmony to your painting. So I have some asphaltum. I'm going to put that on my angle brush, on the toe of my angle brush, and just work that in. Make it nice and thin. Oop, a little too much. Okay, so very similar, like on my flowers, my spring series that I'm doing on Sundays in the studio with Sandy. The stems, very similar, putting that asphaltum on there. But it just adds a really pretty touch, I think. Okay, now, like Molly Ann said, so the background colors, all those colors you put on, does it dull your metallic? It does. But kind of just going with that flow and not thinking about that as much when you're putting it on, because it will stop you from creating. Just do it and then go, oh, I really liked that metallic. I want to bring it back. So guess what? You're in control of that brush and you can tell it what to do. So again, we'll get a little bit there. And I'm going to take this off the wing. Just like that. A little bit of water. It didn't take all of it away, but it took some, especially where the color was a little bit heavier. And then I also want some on this right side, so let's bring that over. I'll leave the wing for now. If it gets on it, I'll get it off. Oh, can you guys see that shimmer as it, I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but it is so sparkly and so pretty and so transparent. So if you are into watercolor, this makes great, like that iridescent, sparkly, metallic in the waves, like on a seascape, or the shimmer in the sand. Let's get that right off the wing. Okay. So that was with the iced espresso. And then I want to add one more color. I feel like I need to do something on the body, but not sure just yet what. I'm going to get a little bit of that burnished brass. Put some of that on there. And so again, like I mentioned, you know, sitting and playing in my art journal. And then oftentimes if I love the thing that I created, like a lot, then I will create either a pattern packet or a convention class. I'm teaching an art journaling class at OKC Painting Palooza, and it's going to be very much like this, playing with product, different ways to do things, lots of freebies in that class with stencils and stamp and journal and everything else. So this is exactly what I had in mind. You can ask my members. I was thinking something with metallic and a dragonfly, and so I'm kind of loving that. Let's move that out of the way. Got to let it dry before I close it. I do want to get some of that metallic off the wings. Okay. And then I am going to spritz it. So just because I want it to thin out a little bit more. So remember how we started, where I put it on and I spritzed it with water and it thinned down. You can do that many times, but you still get that beautiful shimmer and sparkle from that metallic. Okay, I'm going to back out just a little. I know it's wet. Let me dry it so that you don't have such a glare and glisten. And you turned it into the light and I could really see the shimmer. Oh, good. Good, good, good. So this page is very wet. It's going to take me a second to dry it. So I'm going to look at the comments when I... Hello, Brenda. Good to see you on. Hi, Holly and Janie. Oh, guys, thanks on YouTube. Thank you so much for letting me know that you are there, because the comments just kind of stopped. Oh, thank you, Cecilia. Oh, thank you, Linda, too, for testing that over on YouTube. All right, guys, so we're kind of winding down. Again, I just want to remind you that if you order from my website after noon tomorrow Eastern, your order will not go out until the 15th. And I pride myself on getting my orders out soon, like early, like on time, and sometimes right after they come in. But I'm going to be out of town at a trade show in Orlando, playing with DecoArt product. And I don't want to not be able to get your order out. So if you order tonight, by tomorrow afternoon, I'll get that out. My membership group is open till tomorrow at midnight Eastern time, and would love to have you join us. If you want any information about that, you can go to my website. I'm going to pop that up right there. The other thing is, when you order on my website, use that discount code if you're not a member. If you're a member, you have your own discount code that gives you a better discount. Okay, so see now all that metallic has come back. All right, you see that gold, you can see that shimmer. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I have one more thing to do, and then we are going to call it a night. When I say one more thing. I'm going to take a baby wipe, wrap it around my index finger, push that into the palm of my hand, load up some Payne's Gray, run that back and forth, and my wrist is on the inside of the page. I'm going to run that right along that edge. Push on the tabs so you don't rip them off like I did that one. But this is a great way to get I just loaded up, so I want to use that good paint over here. To get a little bit of a vignette look and round those corners. Go right over that metallic. You're still going to be able to see it. And then touch lightly and pull to get those tabs. I've done that technique on wood. Canvas. It just is a great way to add that vignette look without having to use an angle brush. That wetness from the baby wipe, and your baby wipe, you don't want any lotion. I don't put alcohol in them unless I'm painting on glass. But oh, I love that dark at the top over that gold. See that little shimmer and shine? Okay. And when I put the, the metallic luster on, I feel like I lost some of my little lines, so I can draw some of those back on. You can also use a paintbrush and a little bit of paint to do some of those if you want. Get some of those little sketchy vein lines on. And let's see what it needs. It needs splatter. It needs splatter. So I'm going to splatter it with, let's use this. I'm going to use my 1-inch encaustic brush, water, load it up with white, tap it on the paper towel, and kind of like a paintbrush. It's not my normal way, but I want this to be nice and fine. Okay, I'll show you my normal way. Load it up. Let's see, wrong brush. I'm going to load it up with purple. So my brush is very wet, and I will tap, 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 tap over the handle of another brush. Let it sit for a minute. Hi, Linda from Michigan. Thanks for being here. Oh, Molly Ann, thank you. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. If you're even thinking about becoming a member, do it. You won't regret it, right? Again, over 60 lessons. So, right, Linda, a lot easier than shading with a brush. And Kathy Baldwin, one of my members, asked about this pen. So this is a Thule Art. It's showing a glare there. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah. It's a Japanese company, and it's an ink that you can write on a painted area, or and you can paint over it, and it's not going to bleed or move. So what I want to do now is just take that, down, that splatter, and that really is my favorite way to splatter. So I have to put some more white. You could even do the metallic luster, which would be pretty. There's so many things going through my mind right now I want to do, but it's 11:05, so I should probably stop. Okay, so I'm thinking I might put a phrase or a word right here. And again, that's a little a little look into my crazy mind. One thing I'm doing with my members in May is all about mixed media May. We're going to be doing a lot of different techniques and things, but one of them is with like a kid's book from the Dollar Tree. I know I've shared this on my Sundays in the Studio with me, but so just some different things, how to paint on, I love this page, how to paint on, other objects, like this flip book that's a kid's book, right? I think it had Ernie and Bert on it. So that, and then I wanted to clear something up because I got a message about this piece So I shared this piece last night with you guys on the live, and this is not something I'm sharing. I'm not teaching it on Sandy's Sundays in the Studio with Sandy. This is part of my membership group's lesson for May, a mixed media piece. So just to kind of clear that up, I didn't want anyone to think that we're going to be doing this on, we might do something similar down the road, but Monday, hello, why can't I speak? Mixed Media May with my membership group. We're going to be doing a lot of different techniques on a lot of different surfaces using a lot of different things. So, and a lot of things from around the house. In fact, one of my members said that, showed a picture today that she grabbed her husband's screwdriver, Carol Adams, right? She grabbed her husband's screwdriver and a couple other things, and he was helping her gather these things. So, anyway, it is a paintbrush. Did you see that, Lori? I love it. So you guys probably have these things all over, right? So, you know, paintbrush and metal bits and jewelry. The dots, let's see, which way am I going? Right here? That's hot glue. Hot glue right on the wood. Paint over it when it's dry and just get this really pretty cool effect. So we're doing that with my membership group in May. And again, would love to have you guys join us. The doors will close to my membership group midnight tomorrow night. I've said it once, I've said it 20 times tonight. So would love to have you guys join us. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me. You can contact me through my website, hit that contact button. Just a great community of people that want to, I bought some old Vegas. Linda, we're going to be doing a little bit of that too. Sorry, squirrel. Anyway, we'd love to have you join us to do a lot of this, play and create and have fun and meet new people. And yeah, just learn and paint and play and create. But I would say play. So let me look at the comments real quick. I think the dragonfly is, what is that? I have to move that over. Is your state insect. Rose, well, that's a nice insect to have for your state insect because I live in Georgia and I think it's the mosquito. And if it's not, it should be because they're everywhere. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. So it's 11:10. I'm going to go ahead and say good night. Thank you for joining me again tonight. If you missed last night's live, you can watch it on my YouTube channel. You can watch it here on my Sandy McTeer Designs page. And tomorrow I will post the time. I'm hoping 3 o'clock. I will do all the giveaway winners for my Sunday lesson last night and tonight. All right. And I will post those. If you're not able to join live, they'll be on the video and you can go back and watch it. Okay. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate that. I just, I love to teach. I love to teach, love to paint, love to create, and I love to connect. And it's so nice that we get to connect all over the world, right? And it's really the reason I started my membership group was so that I can connect with people on a different level. So, and last night and tonight, you guys saw more of what I typically do with my membership group than like on a Sundays in the Studio with Sandy. So anyway, have a fantastic night. I will be on tomorrow. Hope to see you then. Get out those brushes, get out that paint, do something creative, and yeah, have a good one.